Welcome everyone to the Final Cut. Mark the Movie Man here, and so glad you could join us today. Got a serious indie dramatic film in the form of Mickey Hardaway, and it's written and directed by Marcellus Cox, and we get the story of Mickey Hardaway, who's a very creative artist who has a very rough home life, and against all odds, he's trying to succeed while holding on to his beliefs, his morals, his standards as he gets through life. And each time he gets a challenge that seems to knock him down, he tries to pull himself back up, but it gets harder and harder. And when a certain event happens when he gets older involving his art, we see how it really brings him to the brink and how he really is calling out for help and yet is unable to get the help he completely needs or feels he needs. Wow. This one hit the heartstrings quite a bit. Mickey Hardaway, Marcellus Cox gives you an emotional gut punch that is a story that could be many could relate to, especially creative folks and folks who have suffered at the hands of abuse as children and even through teenage years and beyond, or have had their work taken from them or opportunities taken from them at every corner. And Mickey Hardaway's played wonderfully by Rashad Hunter. This performance in here really you want to reach through the screen and help this guy, and how the story plays out is very interesting because Marcellus Cox kind of plays on assumptions, especially some cultural assumptions, and then you get the full details of what's going on. So we kind of jump around in the timeline. And at first I was like, well, how are you? But I loved how that narration played out, because when you get to the conclusion of this film, I think by presenting the story like that, you finally get all the pieces put together. You just don't have them all at once. So it keeps you intrigued, like, wait, how come he's like, why is he feeling like it? What happened? And then we go back and we see what happened. And the way that is structured, I think, helps create an emotional connection to Mickey, and seeing his reasoning of why he's doing what he does and how he's feeling and how he's going about things. They're not necessarily giving him an out or saying, well, it's because, but they're showing what has contributed to this path that this gentleman ends up going down. And it really will strike a chord, I think, with many people. It struck a chord with me. The rest of the cast in here does well. David Chatham, as Randall Hardaway, Mickey's dad. Wow. That was definitely had to be a challenging role for him, and he sells this role quite a bit. And there's just something underneath the surface of him, something that you feel sad for, of why he is the way he is. Again, not excusing what he does, but at least seeing where he's coming from, in an exploration in that character. So we get that as well. We get the folks that try to help Mickey, Stephen Caulfield Jr. Plays Dr. Cameron Hardin. Loved this guy. He's really trying to reach out and help Mickey, but at the same time, he's got his life that he's trying to do as well, and trying to balance that and help this kid out. And you're even looking at this guy going, dude, let him stay in the session for a little bit longer, right? Dennis L.A. White playing Joseph Sweeney. He plays a character that we've all had in our life, that teacher that goes the extra, and really, I felt that. I've had teachers like that, and he plays that well. And then Samuel Whitehill playing Nathan Hammerson is a guy that you're not probably going to feel too comfortable about with, and especially as the film goes along. But yeah, it is an emotional journey for a creative individual who keeps finding those roadblocks that are either cultural roadblocks or financial roadblocks or emotional roadblocks from stuff that he has suffered since he was a kid, and exploring this might help other people out there as well see that they are not alone, and that there is help out there. And it is a very powerful and heavy story that resonated with me still. So Marcellus Cox really gives you a story that makes a statement about a lot of things, and I dug it. It's great to see someone, especially indie projects, take such care like this. So there you have it, Mickey Hardaway. I believe it's hitting the festival circuit now. I'll put as much information as I can, but keep an eye out for it, because if you're looking for a good dramatic indie film, this one is one but warn you, it's going to be an emotional gut punch. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Also, help us get to 2,500 subscribers or more by the end of the year. We can only do that with your help. I thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.